You're such an asshole.
So this will be rather book reportish because I had to write down my notes because the questions are very precise, which is a good thing. I'm not criticizing that at all. But it's not going to be this, hey, zany kids and cursing and following filth. So I may even have to read some of my notes so I answer these questions precisely. Hey, Capmeister, returning customer here. I have another topic I'd love your take on. I've heard you mention it in passing before, but I'm not aware of any in-depth coverage. Please let me know if you'd be interested in exploring this in a video at what cost. My premise, there is a perpetual tug of war between left and right wing politics, a dynamic that seems necessary as kind of a natural balance, yin and yang, push and pull. The left often acts as the engine driving socioeconomic change for better or worse, while the right serves as a restrictor plate or systems of checks and balances, ensuring that left-wing progress has merit and durability. Several common sayings illustrate this idea. If you're young and not a liberal, you have no heart. If you're old and not a conservative, you have no brain. Conservatism is just liberalism in about 20 years. The left marches forward and the right ensures the bridge does not collapse. I'm not claiming to break new ground. These phrases are widely cited, but I believe there are important takeaways that can be applied to today's political landscapes and perhaps used to theorize about a near-term future. To support this premise, here's a list of once radical ideas that the right has either fully adopted, partially adopted, or at least normalized. Civil rights regarding race, sex, gender, and sexuality. I'm like, well, wait, no, the right fought the Civil War to free the slaves. So I know your intention here, but some of these are not, it wasn't the progressive. It wasn't the Democrats like, oh, yeah, let's stop this slavery thing. Social Security, I think they support it now because they have to hold their nose, but if they were actually conservative, they'd phase it out. But we're talking about politician right or Republican politicians versus rank and file Republicans or libertarians. Labor and union rights, banking and financial regulation. There's another one. Well, banking and finance, but I was thinking more along the lines of the Trust Busters and Teddy Roosevelt. Social welfare programs. No real Republican likes that. I mean, here's what to add further to your analysis, and I'll go through my notes. The Republicans just want to get elected, and they want to say, but we'll sell you less ice cream. That's all it is. It's the Republicans saying, we'll give you less free shit. Please vote for us. It's the guy trying to sell you on diet and exercise and losing the weight, and Democrats are saying, no, you can eat all you want, and that guy's a fascist for saying you should go on a diet and exercise. That's literally what it is. I don't think any of these, well, no, I take it back. A lot of these Republicans do not want. Conservatives certainly do not want it, but are just going along because so many people are on Social Security. Social welfare programs, they're definitely against that. Women in the workforce, I don't know if that's more culturally conservative. Wyoming, which is very traditional conservative, they gave women the right to vote. That's because they want to get fucked, because it was mostly mining out there. But let's just go on with your theory anyway. In each instance, the left drove these changes while the right initially resisted or remained skeptical. Observations today. We are seeing an increasing number of young men and women of all races and orientations voting Republican. Yeah, because the Democrats, I don't know, it's been 60 years and they haven't delivered one fucking thing they promised. I think people are sick and tired of it, which I believe is partly a reaction to the left wing rapidly pushing out several radical ideas in recent decades. Oh, like getting their kids to cut your junk off, right? All your kids are trans according to the Democrat team. Really? You think that might have, really? From excusing political violence to outright socialism or communism and not giving society enough time to truly digest all these ideas. I don't know. Just the idea of getting shot or communism, or cutting your kids' junk off, I don't think anyone's ever going to adapt to it. That's where I think your theory would have some merit, and it exists for the past 50 years, let's just say. But once you start, I don't know, mutilating kids and messing with people's kids and trying to steal all their shit like under communism, the only people that will tolerate that would be Minnesotans. And they say, yes, sir, may I have another? Don't you know? I'm a goody dynamite. So it's not giving society enough time to accept or adjust to these ideas. You're not telling my kid that they're trans or gay. That my child will decide that at 12 or 13, we'll have a conversation about it. And you're not sleeping with my child. I know that upsets a lot of female teachers in the public and private schools. I know, but yeah, keep your hands off my kid. In this scenario, the right acts like gravity in the stock market. When left-wing policies or social movements become overextended, the conservative response brings balance and correction. Historically, the left has enjoyed greater popularity the last 30 to 40 years. Try 60. But we may be seeing a subtle shift. Questions based on this premise. Okay, let me pull up my notes. Let's get the notey notes. Here are the notey notes over here. Do you agree with the overall premise that the two parties complement one another, at least in theory? I do not agree with the premise. I do not believe they are complements, but rivals and more or less checks and balances against each other. And just to show you, but I'm not some blind, you always vote for the GOP. Any political party that has too much control will become corrupt. It is human nature, regardless of which flag you happen to be under. And it's obviously, what's his name? Mitch McConnell. What the fuck was that guy doing there for so damn? I think J. Strom Thurmond was a Republican too. So you see it in both. You see corruption in both parties. There's no doubt there. But at least in terms of the platform they're offering, they are the rivals and the checks and balances to the other one going a little too far away. So they do not complement. They are checks. They also serve as the necessary bad guy for the other political party and the people that believe in it. The boogeyman. Remember when George Bush was to blame for everything and it became Donald Trump and whoever, right? That the Democrats do that a little bit more, where the scapegoat is always the Republican president or the Republicans in the Senate, as I like to point out. It's not to say Republicans don't blame Obama or Biden or the Democrats for things, but nowhere near to the extent that the Democrats do. But there's the bad guy, right? Batman needs the Joker. Joker needs the Batman. Because who are you going to stand against at that point in time? So do you agree with the overall premise? No, I don't. I mean, some of it is true, but I do not believe they are complement or this yin and yang that work in symbiosis with each other. I think, and I'll get to what I think is really at the base of this and most political disagreements in the past of most of all of human history. 2, which leftist pushes are likely to become mainstream conservative values in the next 20 years, which will be resisted indefinitely. I don't think any one of the leftist ideas today are going to be championed by the right, because the left has exhausted any goodwill it might have had with the right. For example, not straight rights, okay? Because we keep the Democrats keep changing. Before it was gay right, okay, and trans, all right, or bi, or fine, whatever. I don't care. They're adults. I think most Republicans would be, okay, fine. It's not Christian, but I understand. I wouldn't want people telling me what shoes to wear, okay? But the left has taken that and they've ran with it to basically get paid for being the way you were born. That's what it is. They have abused this social rights. They've used social rights as a means by which to, in their minds, legitimize and transfer money from other people. And that's why I call it tradeism, because if you're born a certain way and you're not the main group or the oppressing group, you're the oppressor, or you're the oppressed. Classic Marxism, oppressed and oppressor. Are you straight? Well, then the gays are oppressor, not straight. Are you male? Then it's white. You're black, you're white. You're mentally able, right? We've seen that happen where, well, what does a straight white guy got to do? Well, you can fake a gender you're not. You can fake a sexuality. Oh my God, I'm trans or whatever. Or you can fake having a mental disability. It's maybe not a trait you were born with, especially if you're faking it, but how are you going to prove it? The left has gone in and say, hey, aren't you for like treating somebody who's different than you by the way they were born? Come on, they don't control how they were born. We shouldn't discriminate against. And you got most people like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. And you should pay them all the money. And then here's the other thing. When you rile people up into thinking that the most important thing about them is the way they were born, right? It's well, you're born that way, but you all get equal rights. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. But the left, especially through the schools, man, and it's the most important thing about you is that you're born X. And you have infinite value because of the way you were born. You don't have to work anything. And if you're not wealthy, it's those rat bastards, generally whites or males, certainly Republicans in the Senate, or whoever, pick the scapegoat. Other countries do this. and that is where you get envy and greed. And then you got to say, and those people over there are oppressing the world. Because you cannot merely give people money, say we're going to provide, food, clothing, and shelter for you. That doesn't give you a purpose and reason to exist. What's her name? A perfect example of a truly worthless human being. Greta Thunberg is claiming she's got bed bugs in Israeli jail. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. This is what happens when you get free food, clothing, and shelter paid for. You think the most amazing thing about you is the way you were born, or you're an environmentalist in the case of Greta Thunberg. And they got to give people purpose and meaning to live. You can't just say, well, here's your food, clothing, and shelter. Enjoy your UBI Section 8. No, humans aren't designed that way. It's those rat bastards over there that are oppressing you. And we need to get them. And thus why it's okay to bump off Charlie Kirk. Well, you don't have free speech and we should fight you and bash the fashion, punch a Nazi because we're right and you're wrong. We're on the right side of history. Right? But when you do it to us, oh my God, hell and high water. So I think because the right has been betrayed, and instead of saying what it was on the face of it, yes, all human beings should be treated equally, and they used it as not only a means to rationalize taking other people's money, but if you don't give them the money, you're the rat bastard, and these people are oppressed by the mainstream average person on the street. I don't think there's anything the right is going to inevitably acquiesce to. Is that, yeah, you're right, we should do this. I think we're at a difference where your theory or your cycle ends. When you start going after other people's kids and saying, yeah, be trans, and maybe and we could teach this to you when you're 5 years old. Go look up the guy from Duluth. The teacher they're trying to get the 5-year-olds thinking about gender. When you got people, a lot of people getting shot by people who are wackadoo raised by leftist indoctrination. It's not the guns, ladies and gentlemen. It's the crazy people behind the guns that the Democrats mostly raise. There's other people that shoot too. I don't think the right is going to tolerate. The hell is that? What? Hang on. The hell? It's always something, isn't it? It's always fucking something. Is it rain out here? What the fuck is going on? No, there's some kind of fucking creature out here. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. I just get to go do something else. It doesn't fucking, I swear to God, it never fucking ends. I think the left has proven itself now, especially going after children and murdering people, and then seeing, not all leftists, of course, not all Democrats, but seeing a lot of people celebrate the murdering of Charlie Kirk and all this, and you just get this, and then what you see in the media as well, where they got to turn everything trans or gay or girl boss or lesbian. It's like, can you make a good fucking, I mean, it could be a lesbian, but can it be a good fucking show? No, and you're a bastard for not liking our shit. I think not only the right, but some of the center people are like, nope, we're done with you. You're wackadoo. And so when you ask which leftist pushes are likely to become mainstream conservative values in the next 20 years, I don't think any, not now, which will be resisted indefinitely. Everyone they got going on now. The only thing I could think of that the right and Republicans might champion, although it's the left that abandoned, is they might start going more of a pro-labor. Because that's kind of what Trump is doing. He's like getting the tariffs in, which you may not like, but it's to get jobs back here and not to mention do leverage against foreign countries. you see a lot of conservatives, myself included, championing the trades, and not just the trades, but working at the railroads, other professions, get out of college. I think conservatives, Republicans genuinely want young people, I mean, well, everybody, to make money. I think the corporations, which were traditionally Republican territory, are now obviously Democrat territory, and they can't wait to hire foreigners and immigrants and H-1B visas and be woke and all that. So the conservatives, in a weird sense, are kind of anti-corporation right now. And I think I don't even know if you could consider it Republican or conservative, uh, to simply want people to have good jobs. I think that's kind of a generally central one, but the Democrats have long abandoned that. So, oh, you all got to go to college and you can't. No, trades are losers. Oh my God, you need a PhD, and maybe and we get a student loan bailout. And you never grow up. I think, well, for a fact, a lot of blue collar people have gone to the Republican side of things and voted Republican. But I think that might be not UBI or minimum wage. I don't, because minimum wages don't work. But I think Republicans are going to be like, oh, I think Republicans are going to be for the American worker, not immigrants and foreigners and H-1B and outsourcing jobs. I think they're actually, they're definitely, the Democrats are defending not labor, but welfare recipients. Like, if you're unemployed, here's all the money in the world from other people. By the way, you don't even have to get a job. The Republicans are like, hey, we better make it so people get jobs, and having to go to college for 6 years and having a bunch of our labor market flooded with foreign labor, whether it's legal or not, doesn't matter. I think the Republicans are going to take up that Democrat, the classical Labor Party position a little bit more than the Democrats. But the Democrats have long stopped being labor. I mean, when was their first trust fund baby? Probably Bill Clinton, trust fund baby. Critique him as you may. Jimmy Carter served in the Navy. I think the trust fund baby started with Boomer Clinton, and certainly Obama and Biden, who are your trust fund baby pussies. I mean, those guys, get the fuck out of here. They long ago abandoned working class America. So I think that's one area, but I don't know if that's political or left or right. That's just, hey, you got to start taking care of your workers, or we ain't going to have an economy here anymore. 3, what is 3? 3, can society function without this tension? What might happen if one party held unchecked power for decades? Is this already the case with the left? It can function, but not well. You'll be divided. A house divided cannot stand. You just really hate each other. It can fall into civil war. I think we already had the case here with the left, where the right is boycotting finally. People are finally waking up. No, we're not going to go to college. The left just hates the right. The left is willing to murder. The left is okay celebrating the murder thereof. Not all, again, I always got to qualify that. But yeah, what will happen? What happens is civil war in the extreme end, or just, producers and parasites duking it out by voting through democracy. What might happen if one party held unchecked power for decades? The left has more or less had unchecked power for decades. I know there's been Republican presidents, but they haven't put in Republican policies. The left just keeps it. The right they want to keep getting reelected. So like, okay, we'll only do 93% what the Democrats are offering. And Democrats are like, look at those racists over there. I'll only give you 93%. Here, have more chocolate and cake. If you get fat, it's their fault. But yeah, if one party has unchecked power, yes, they will become corrupt. I don't care who it is. It could be Republicans, the Whig Party, the Libertarians. If you have unchecked power for decades, you will become corrupt. Absolutely. 4, could the anti-restrictor plate dynamics collapse under extreme polarization? What might that look like? Well, it could look like civil war. Are we witnessing that now? Yes. It's not civil war, but you're not helping people out. Like, if you find out, oh, that's a Democrat, that's a Republican, like, people plain don't give a shit. There's no community anymore. People are only helping themselves. Like, you're not going to give. Hey, this is just amazing. This is absolutely amazing. You guys can't hear it. Now it's done. There is no community anymore. You don't help out your fellow American. You're cheering on their demise. I don't. I think that's what we have now. We don't have a civil war. We have a cultural war. You have obviously a sex war going on. Women. I'm sorry. Women are conditioned to hate men in this case. You may not resist that conditioning, but that's obvious. Yeah, what you see is miserable people because half the country wants to end your way of life, basically. The Republicans want to end it that, yeah, you guys actually have to get jobs. You just can't get free shit all the time, which sounds logical to us, but to them, that's like a death. That's the worst thing ever. The worst nightmare ever for a leftist is that they have to work and support themselves. They can't just get by in the way they were born, or my disability, or this or that, or the oppressions, or there's no such housing as a right. No, it isn't. You're gonna let us starve? Yeah. You want a shot? Like, I don't care what you do. I hope you don't starve, but I'm not slaving away. I mean, yeah, that it's stressful. No one's having a good time. People aren't having kids. I'll go. That's more of the sex war. But yeah, a collapse would be a civil war, which happens throughout history all the time. So, so those are your questions. But yeah, let me. I try to analyze it through your motif there. I don't believe in the yin and yang description. I don't believe we're balanced and that we need. I really don't believe it. I think my producer-parasite analysis or view explains not only this instance in American history, but most instances in all of politics throughout all of history. There is a producer group and a parasite group. That's it. That's all there is. In slavery, the producer group were the slaves and the parasites were the Romans, right? Today, it's Democrats and Republicans. Generally, yes, I know there's a lot of trust on baby Republicans, but generally Republicans are like, leave me the fuck alone, lower my taxes, and no, I'm not paying 40% of my money in income taxes or total taxes. And the Democrats are, you owe us, gimme, 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 and how dare you not gimme, and we're going to kill you if you don't gimme. And oh, by the way, and then they come up with all sorts of rationalizations to take the money. That, I think, explains it way more. You go back far enough, yes, the Democrats were the Labor Party. They were for working. And I'm not even against them with fair wages and a living wage, because I don't know how you live without a living wage. Then maybe you Democrats might want to join Trump on this tariffs and ending the H-1B. Oh, that's right. You need all the immigrants so they vote for you legally or not. I forgot. Okay, that's right. You're all about power. See, even the Democrats want to be parasites on the Democrat constituents, because so they'll never get out of poverty. I think that's just all it is. There's a group of people that realize, like, yeah, you can't not work for a living. You got to work. And so I'm going to bust my ass off and make as much money as I can. And my future will be under my control. And there's a group of people who just plain don't want to work. And they'll come up with every possible reason or rationale as to why they're entitled to other people's money. And that's basically what the Democrat Party is, especially within academia. Academia is just there to come up with bullshit theories as to why other people should be enslaved to their people. That's it. And there have been instances where, okay, the left was, about whatever, gay rights, for example. Okay, cool. And the right, yeah, okay, sure, fine. But at the end of the day, what the left has become, and maybe it's evolved, maybe at one time it was about working hard, but it definitely ain't that now. Right now, it is not only about getting other people to pay for their shit and being parasitic. It's also coming up with a philosophical purpose and meaning in life for the parasitic group, which is, we're not you oppressive rat bastards over there. How dare you? I mean, what do you think Antifa is? It's a bunch of people who don't have a purpose and meaning in life. The Democrat here, sit on your ass and don't do anything. You're entitled to free shit. Well, that deprives you of the ability to go and accomplish something. And you say, well, what do we do? And they're blind to K through college. They're like, you're going to hate those people over there because they're oppressing you. Now they have a reason to get up in the morning. I think that's a way better description of what's going on here. Is the producer-parasite, what do you call it? Paradigm? Is that the right use of the word? And yes, of course, there are parasitic Republicans and there are producer Democrats. I'm not saying, but generally, that's if you look at the political parties. One is lower our fucking tax, at least on paper, lower our fucking taxes and leave us the fuck alone. The other is we're oppressed and bad things happen, and we as a community should force you to pay for it. That's what it is. And it's gone well beyond like temporary assistance, like which maybe the original welfare state was, to where now generations of people just live off of it. And if you dare take it away from them, they're going to riot in the streets. All right. There we go. Close without saving. Do we have any? Oh, link below. I think I have Sanity is the Future of Wealth and Enjoy the Decline, Accepting and Living with the Death of the United States. Super chats. Desea Bronx, $5. Good news and a thanks to you, Cappy. I'm officially debt free, including the house. Thanks for the advice over there. Good for you, Desea. That's great, man. You know, and look, here's a perfect. I don't know. Desea's politics probably leans right because you're tuning in here, but I don't know. But let's say you were a Democrat, like, hey, good for you. You're free. You want to be left alone now. Now, there are people out there, and they're trained by Democrat teachers and professors and media people. Yeah, that son of a bitch has a house and he paid it off. He owes you something because I mean, really. I think the producer-parasite paradigm explains it a lot clearer. It's Occam's razor. It's just simple. It's just simple. Ass bucket, $2. Isn't it all Ronald Reagan's fault? Yes, it's always Ronald Reagan's fault or George Bush's fault or George Bush Jr. and then Trump. It's always somebody else's fault, right? It always is. And I know we talk about politics, but have you ever ran into like a repeat criminal? Maybe it's just because I work security a lot, or someone who's home. It's never their fault. It was never like, hey, you could go to the whatever. You could go to the housing shelter. They'll give you trim and a haircut, get some clothes, and there's a work program. There's AmeriCorps, blah, 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 blah. They never do it. Why? Because they're lazy. And nothing. It's always someone else's. It's always bad luck. And you ask, well, how much time did you put into like, I always thought like if I was homeless, okay, well, what I could do at minimum is go clean up in the stream or the river, right? And kind of maybe first thing would be like get a haircut and not stink and get some, maybe go to Goodwill, maybe I have to panhandle a little bit, but just go and find a job somewhere. Fine, I got to spend time at the homeless shelter. It's been ages since I've been to a homeless shelter, but I got to imagine now, like, don't they have deodorant maybe? And you get a haircut? Are there services? No. Oh, they give you free drugs. That's what it is. Seattle. And they're just miserable people who never take responsibility for their lives in life. It's just, and yep, it's Ronald Reagan's fault. I've had those Ronald Reagan. Blah, blah. I'm like, dude, are you a fucking boomer or what? You still blaming Ronald Reagan for this shit? Cyberbully, $5. Family dinner last night and an expensive steakhouse. Terrible service. All dishes undercooked and sent back. This was a straw that broke the camel's back for my NPC family. They can't ignore the downfall. Let me look it up. I was on the north side of Vegas. I will mention them by name because they're horrible. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, way up there. Centennial Hills. Is this Durango? That's Durango. Okay. Born and raised Centennial. Fine bar. Really cool bar, actually. Food was bullshit. Absolute horseshit. I don't know if I was going to get food poisoning. I looked at the G if I says yours. She's like, this is the driest burger. And it was like $15 a piece for our meals. Was not cheap. I'm done. And I'm with you, Cyberbully. I said, that's it. I'm done. We have I wanted to go there, try something new. We're on that side of town. I don't know why it is. I am a hypocrite. I am Charlie Brown, perpetually trying to kick Lucy's football on that. I'm like, oh, maybe this place. No. And I said that's it. We're sticking with our 5 restaurants we know are good, and we're not going to others. I'm done. I'm not going to any other. I'm not. Bar and grills are out. Nope, you're a bar. I'll go get my girlfriend a drink. I am not getting food. I'm done with burger and joint. But no, I'm done with you all. Done with you. Vake, 20 generous dollars. Ayn Rand called the 2 types of people's producers versus moochers. Okay, and Atlas Shrugged. I don't know about that because Atlas Shrugged is about that thick, and I'm like, I ain't reading that book. I like Producers and Parasites. I think Parasites is more like moochers could be cute. Dogs mooch. Little nieces mooch. They give you those 3-year-old. You can have whatever you want, sweetheart. Look at the eyes. Oh my God, have everything. Parasites, no, that's what they are. They consume off a host. Hat and Clogs is the Republicans in the Senate. It's the Republicans in the Senate and Sydney Sweeney. It is. With their superior genes. Ass bucket, $2. Minnesotans still blame Tim Poland. Minnesotans are the problem. I love how karma works. All those Minnesotans who their entire life, they're too proud to admit they're wrong. And so they're going to lose their entire state and live miserable lives. Yep, it's Tim Pawlenty. It sure is. It isn't you guys dropping trow and spreading your ass cheeks and letting a bunch of illegal immigrants come in and take over your government. That's not it. Not it at all. What was the phrase? Up to $8 billion now? They're estimating the fraud at the state to be. Oh, by the way, not just immigrants, of course not. Locals too. Oh, Naughty DJ Aftershock, $5. Laugh out loud. One of my brothers thinks poor blue-collar working class people are lazy and embrace victimhood and just want more government benefits without saying it. One of my brothers thinks... Why would he think the blue-collar working class people are lazy? They're the least lazy. The most lazy are the welfare recipients who just have no intention to work. Then there's like white-collar NBA dude bros and girl bosses who major in bullshit. One could consider the academic and government employee. Yeah, okay, your social science major teachers and all that. But then blue-collar, you got to work. That's physical labor. Naughty DJ Aftershock, $2. Anyway, I saw lookalikes of you at a Thai place. Okay. Dude, bro, no gastropubs for you? No, is that what they're called? Gastropubs? Never again. Never. I'm done. I've become way more successful at ordering stuff on Amazon. I'm not going to the stores. I am done. I mean, there's not a lot of restaurants to go out here in South Dakota anyway. But Vegas, oh yeah. Oh, there's a new restaurant. Don't give a shit. Until one is knocked off my list because they closed down or something, I'm done. I'm not giving restaurants any more shots. The food is fucking horrible. Vake, $10. I can't believe you haven't read Atlas Shrugged. That book was written for you. It's this thick. And they were going to make a movie out of it, but they did only half of it. Same thing with Lord of the Rings. I don't have to read the book. They made movies out of it. I want to read a book. Are you joking me? I tried to read The Fountainhead, I think. I was like, I don't have the life expectancy for this. I know, Hank Reardon, I know. I'm aware. But if you philosophically understand Producers versus Parasites, that's it. Look, people are late. Did I at least contribute something to the thought, pointing out that the reason people are inherently lazy because that's how we survived in the past, because food was not abundant? And that's a very hard thing, embodified by people getting fat and avoiding working out, to the fact that obesity now threatens us. Men love food more than they love sex. That's why they're all fat. Because if they like sex, they'd stay thin, or at least in shape. For the women, no, they want the fat. So I can understand it, but can we understand that's a very powerful force we're dealing with? Nobody wants to work. No one. It's an issue of IQ and opportunity, I guess. Are you smart enough to realize that working hard now is the easy way? Or do you still think like down the road I can make my master's in political science still work? Well, I need a student loan bailout. It's just bad. It's the Republicans in the Senate. It's no, it's not that you chose a stupid, worthless, math avoidant degree. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got it. Right? I got it. People are lazy and they want to enslave other people because they don't view other people as human beings. Did I get it? They're willing to kill other people and rant and screed. People are so lazy, they'll fake being a sexuality they're not, insulting the people who actually are that sexuality, whether it's bi, gay, trans, whatever. Also, they can get purpose. Remember Rachel Dolezal? Remember her? White girl who like took dying pills and faked to make her look like she was black and worked for the NAACP, I believe it was. Until they found out she was white. Right? People will go to people will sleep with people they're not physically attracted to of the same or opposite or whatever it is. Right? They'll act like a completely different. They'll wear costumes and dresses or vice versa for the gals. Also, they don't have to work. You have straight people faking being not straight, mentally healthy people faking having a mental illness, even going to the point of taking the drugs. Also, they have purpose and reason, so they don't have to work at it. We're talking powerful fucking forces. All right, there you guys go. Enjoy the decline, accepting living with the death of the United States. And then if you want to see where the left is, go get my book, or it's an essay. It's very short. Sanity is the Future of Wealth. And enjoy watching Minnesotans suffer their consequences. That's there. Sanity is the Future of Wealth. That if you guys don't like Minnesota, even though you've never been there, go get Sanity is the Future of Wealth. Be like, oh, that's what Minnesotans are like. All right, see you guys later. Toodles.